Welcome back everybody, my name is Nick930 and this is a first impressions for the Call of Duty World War II beta. The beta went live earlier than expected Thursday evening and was immediately met with criticism in the Steam reviews. So is this beta worth your time, and does it really suck that much? Well, after playing several matches all night and running into absolutely no performance related issues, I can safely say that I'm really enjoying myself with this new Call of Duty game. Is it anything special? Not necessarily. But it is a return to form for a series that has abandoned its traditional values that people liked in the first place, and the step back to more simple gameplay mechanics is a welcome change from the overly ridiculous wall running and jetpacking. So since this beta only focuses on the multiplayer component, let's just talk briefly about what you can expect from it. Call of Duty World War II features multiple classes called divisions. Each division features unique abilities and appearances. The Airborne Division, for example, allows players to equip their submachine guns with silencers. Each division can be upgraded as you earn experience with them, and you can unlock even more powerful abilities. These divisions don't necessarily lock you out of playing with any specific weapons. You can still use rifles, shotguns, and SMGs all you want regardless of which division you play as, but some of the division abilities definitely lend themselves towards specific weapon types. There's a lot of classic World War II weapons available to use, like the M1 Garand, the PPSH, and Grease Gun, and they all handle very nicely. Each weapon can also be modified with basic attachments that, while sometimes can seem a bit far-fetched, are still technically authentic. The time to kill is very short, making for some very fast-paced gameplay, that coupled with the smaller than usual map design lends itself to a very fast-moving competitive shooter that reminds me of the older Call of Duties like Modern Warfare and especially World at War. The kill streaks are still present in World War II, but they feel more simplified and toned down. You can only use 3 as always, and you can select which 3 you would like to use in between rounds, but they all require the same amount of points, so you'll never have to get those 20 kills to activate that one special score streak. Score streaks appear to be slightly modified World War II versions of popular kill streaks, like the Predator missile being replaced with a bomber that you can somewhat steer towards the ground, or a scout plane that acts like a UAV. Throughout each match, you'll find that kill streaks rarely interrupt the gameplay flow like they used to in the older Call of Duties, so they seem to have successfully fixed one of Call of Duty's biggest issues. The map designs may be a little too small though. Pointe du Hoc is a well-designed map with 2 flanking machine gun turrets overlooking a courtyard filled with deep trenches and a surrounding outer ring with multiple obstacles and buildings. Acheon, however, is an urban city map that feels way too small. It features the typical 3 lanes with larger, more open spawn areas, but each lane is essentially 2 buildings long, and using anything other than a shotgun or an SMG is just pointless. Ardennes Forest is kind of the same way. The lanes are a little longer in this map, but it still feels oddly small for a Call of Duty map. Then there's Gibraltar, a map that feels great with lots of verticality and an overall unique design. This one only showed up once as I played last night, and it has a really nice rhythm to it that actually makes it possible to get some big kill streaks. Then there's Operation Breakout that's only available in the new War Mode. Now, War Mode takes the gameplay from Call of Duty and then introduces some basic objective gameplay. The attacking team needs to complete various tasks like building bridges and capturing objectives to help escort an allied tank to the front line, while the Axis team does their best to defend their position. Both teams can run up and build set objects like barricades, bridges, and even machine gun nests. It's a really cool concept that clearly borrows its ideas from Battlefield 1's popular Operations game mode, and this seems like a welcome addition to the game. However, I did have some difficulty joining this game mode for whatever reason, and I ended up enjoying myself more in the Mosh Pit randomized playlist. We also seem to have encountered a hacker. I'm not positive because one of my friends is convinced that this is part of the game. There's a gameplay mechanic that has it so the Mountain class or Sniper class can auto-aim, and apparently this guy could auto-aim through the wall, as you can see here. So this may be a sign that this game has some pretty poor anti-cheat, but it's also the beta, everyone could play it for free, so this may not be the case in the final game. Now, in terms of performance, Call of Duty World War II ran excellent the entire time. As you can see in all the footage here, the game ran at around 110 FPS with every setting maxed out, and I never once noticed it drop below 100 FPS. The game felt smooth and all the menus functioned very nicely. I did have some slower loading times and had some issues connecting to a war match, but other than that, the game felt very polished, and I'm surprised by how many people are having issues in the Steam reviews. That being said, I do agree with the complaints when it comes to graphics. Sledgehammer Games impressed me with their Advanced Warfare game a few years back, but this game's multiplayer visual quality is severely lacking. Textures and colors feel muddy and washed out, and it just doesn't feel like a next-generation title. Textures on the characters' hands and weapons look perfectly fine, but it's hard not to make comparisons to games like Battlefield 1. Based on the footage they've shown of the game's single player, I expected some better quality here, and I'm just not seeing it. Hopefully the single player campaign can deliver some very nice visuals come November. And those are just some of my impressions I got from the Call of Duty World War II beta. Overall, I really enjoyed myself, and I'm glad Call of Duty has returned to their roots. They've delivered exactly what they promised, and there certainly could be a few tweaks made to the mechanics, like adjusting some of the heads-up display element positions to be more consistent with the gameplay. But other than that, I feel like this one is vastly underrated already, and I'm really looking forward to more of this gameplay in November. Thank you all for watching, guys. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.